Welcome back to Pure Beast Fitness, where I keep health and fitness simple. And of course, if you're logging in for this particular video, if you've been following the other part, I'm talking about how I got shredded in one of the photo shoots I did. Not one, but multiple photo shoots, but one in particular stood out more than the others. This is what I think part 3 of me basically running my mouth about it. And speaking of running my mouth, the last part 2, last time I spoke with y'all and I spoke about like my eating, I realized like I skimmed over and I didn't went into detail. So I'm gonna try to go into more detail in this part. So this would be like a part 2 of part 2, I guess. I don't know. But anywho, before I end up running my mouth and forget again, I mentioned before that I don't count calories. Yeah, that will be explained in other videos too. I don't count calories. The foods that I eliminate, of course, I said liquid calories. I eliminate like canned product because that's usually like a high source of sodium. And of course, if you don't know, for me, sodium causes water retention. I cut milk out of my diet. Anything with milk, I guess lactose in it. I feel like I get bloated when I consume stuff with milk, milk-based, whether it's cheese, whatever. Of course, I cut out cake, like pastries and stuff, bread. My hardest thing to cut out is Vienna cake because I love Vienna cake so much. But I'm almost going on 1 year of not eating Vienna cake. So I think February 2024 is going to make 1 year, my 1 year anniversary of not eating Vienna cake, which is a big accomplishment for me because I used to eat Vienna cake like every weekend, like probably like 4. Like the people in the cake shop know when I walk in what I'm coming for. But anywho, man, I want Vienna cake now. So, other stuff that I cut out that's actually healthy, but for me, I feel like it works against the goal that I'm aiming for, is like beans. I love beans. I think I love beans more than Puerto Ricans. I love beans, but I feel like beans make me like a little bloated in my stomach area. When I'm trying to like put on like mass and stuff, I feel like beans help me a lot. I feel like I have a lot of energy when I eat beans and I feel like I can recover better, and I just love the taste of beans. What else I cut out? I cut out nuts. Nuts is healthy, of course, but I feel like with nuts, it's so easy to just overconsume. If you catch where I'm coming from, like a handful of nuts could pack you up with, not that I'm counting calories, but a handful could give me more than what I need for that particular day, and we can easily lose track of how much we sit down and nibble on, how much that adds up to, you know what I mean? So the idea of being lean is that you don't want to be taking in more than what your body needs, in a sense. You don't have too much of one thing and you don't want to have like not enough. I feel like with nuts, you can go overboard easily. Not bad for when you want to put on some size, you know? Of course, I said I would cut out fruits. I feel like that's just me reducing sources of sugar. I know fruits is healthy. I'm not going to tell you don't eat fruits, but I did say there's stuff that I did when I cut down that I don't feel like it's safe or healthy. So cutting fruits out is definitely one of them. I cut out oats. When I eat oats, I know some other people consume oats like when they're cutting and stuff like that, and they look very nice. But for some reason, when I eat oats, I also get bloated. The same way my body responds to beans is the same way it responds to oats. I don't know. I tend to look like a little fluffy or swole when I eat oats. So, what's the next thing? Types of food I eat. So in terms of carbs, I don't eat rice. I don't eat bread, or at least around the time like I really just cut it out. So if I used to eat like let's say like I eat bread once or twice a year, I make sure I'm definitely not eating bread, anything bread based, gluten, none of those flours. But what I do eat a lot of is sweet potatoes, yams, I occasionally do pumpkin, not much. Not much. Of course, everybody know I like dasheen because I'm always talking about dasheen. I'm gonna do a video comparing the carb sources so we could see how these things line up to the other sources of carb that people suggest. But yeah, dasheen. I love breadfruit. That's definitely one of them. What else? Like green bananas. These carbs that I use definitely power my workout. What else? In terms of meat, like around that time, I was doing just tilapia alone for like 4 months, and that shit is gross. That is the nastiest fish I've ever eaten in my life, and I don't think I ever want to go back to eating tilapia. But I ate tilapia for like probably like 4 months straight. I don't eat any other meat other than fish. I'm allergic to certain seafood, so I have to I love seafood, but I gotta watch out which one I end up eating in a soup. But definitely tilapia alone, at that time, it was just tilapia. I did do veggies, but my veggies was like raw stuff. I didn't do like veggies from the can, and I didn't do frozen veggies. It was just like you go to the supermarket and you grab some like a bag of spinach, a bag of kale, bell pepper, green pepper, mix it up into like your own salad, some onions too, mix those up, and that's basically what I was eating. I kept it raw. I think I ate okra, and that may have been the only thing I ate that I had to cook, and it was just boiled. In terms of preparation, most of my food was either baked, grilled, or boiled. And when I did use oil, it was the unprocessed oil, like either coconut or olive. And I use it more so to like prevent like stuff from sticking. Like, when you grill or bake the fish would kind of like stick to whatever you have it on the pan. So that really was about it. In terms of like technique I had for eating, I would say I had like a portion size of like maybe like a little bit bigger than like my fist. So imagine my fist is not the biggest, but I try to eat like within that portion. And I would have like, my tilapia, my veggies, and I would have like my carb in like every single meal that I ate. I avoided eating until I was full. Like, when you eat a lot of food and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't move, I avoid getting to that point. I just ate in like my controlled portion, and I eat frequently. So I timed myself for like maybe like every 3 to 4 hours or so. And if I felt like I was absolutely, like if I felt like I got to the point where I may have been like, I don't know, like, you don't have enough energy, you feel like maybe lightheaded, dizzy. If I ever felt like I was getting near that point, then I moved up my eating interval. So let's just say like if I took 4 hours, by the 4th hour I'm getting dizzy and I feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna pass out. Then I move it up closer to like maybe like 3 hours. So I'm not waiting until I'm dizzy or feeling like that type of way. That's run like kind of like close. And then I keep it frequent. And then I try to see how much meals I would actually consume in a day. Not trying to raise numbers, but just to get an idea, just to keep track. I guess this is where I would be kind of counting, not calories, but like how much meals does it take for me to just be even and satisfied throughout the day without going overboard. So I don't know off the top of my head if I eat probably like 6 or 7 or something, but it's not like big meals. So when you tell somebody, oh yeah, like 6, 7 times I ate, people thinking, wow, you ate a lot, but it's like very small meal. So the idea behind that for me is I feel like your body digests food better when you don't like bombard it with a whole bunch of stuff. I guess it has something to do with surface area, but I'm not going to go into all like scientific stuff. So you give it like little dosage and it could handle that. And then I feel like when you overeat, you have a higher chance of just carrying around a gut. Not that the gut has anything to do with like fat storage or water retention. You're just having like this protrusion in your stomach because you overate. You're just carrying around a full stomach all the time. So I try my best to avoid that. what else I did? After I applied all of this stuff, I guess this was why I missed out on the previous video. After I apply all of this eating technique and I feel like by monitoring myself through pictures, I got to the point where the progress was probably either slowing down or it came to like a stop. Because I mean, you're monitoring yourself like every week you take like a photo and you kind of like put one to the next and you're like, okay, yeah, I could see like the change. Oh no, it seemed like it's slower. After I get to that point, I start cycling my carbs. So if you're not familiar with carb cycling, I guess I might probably drop like a link if I remember in the description. But that's basically like you start going like a, I won't say like a whole day, but like you start removing, I guess that's it. You start going like a day where you just eat like your meat and veggies, right? But for me, rather than going like a whole day, like I just decided I'm gonna go a whole day without eating carbs, I try to start like choosing like a particular meal throughout the day where, hey, this particular meal, I think I could kind of do without carbs for this one. And I would just remove a carb from that, see how I'm feeling, you know, throughout the week and stuff. And maybe I might pick like another day. So for example, let's say Monday I ate like 6 meals or something, right? Maybe I might remove a carb source from the 5th meal or something, whichever one is not before my workout, like immediately before my workout, because you're gonna need it for your workout. Whichever one is not before my workout or wouldn't affect my ability to still push as hard as I was pushing, training, that's the one I would remove. And if I'm still feeling good, then I'll play around with moving another one. So Monday, I might remove the 5th meal, meal number 5, right? Tuesday, I ain't removing nothing. Wednesday, I might remove meal number 5 again. Thursday, I ain't removing nothing. Friday, I might remove meal number 5 again. And see how I'm feeling, you know, monitor my workout, monitor like how my body is actually just feeling at the time. If I feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm dropping too fast, then I just kind of like add back a carb. So there were times where I actually went like maybe one day of the week just without carbs, and I'm eating like veggies and fish for the whole day. So Monday I'm eating my carb. Tuesday I might just, all my meals might just be tilapia and veggies. All throughout the day I'm just doing tilapia and veggie. I'm drinking my water and stuff, and then Wednesday I'm back to like my carb. That's what carb cycling is, and that's what I did. I don't have like the exact setup for what I did like in terms of my meals, because I play with it like along the way. So I don't have like a particular setup that I did and I stuck with it. If one week I did something, I noticed like I got a reaction that I didn't like, then I change it up the following week and it's like a dance. But one of the things I have to make sure is that I'm still able to actually push during my workout, because at the end of the day, the reason why I'm doing all of this stuff, and I did say I'm not doing cardio immediately, is because I want to make sure, like, one, I exhaust all the means that I could of improving without touching cardio, right? So if I could do that by food, then kudos to me. The next thing is, if I sacrifice my lifting day to now do cardio, which, you know, I have done that before, and I do have friends that do that. When I sacrifice my lifting day for the sake of being able to do a cardio, or sacrifice a workout to do cardio, then all the gains that I've gotten, I feel like I lose it fast. I feel like I start to go like completely flat. I start to look more skinny than shredded. So there's been a time, I think, like I may have like I struggle with arms a lot, like with growing my arm, and I managed to grow my arm. And then I did that where I actually sacrificed workout, obviously, because now I'm doing less arm workout. I think my arm didn't look as nice as it was looking before I started sacrificing that day for cardio. So my goal is to leave cardio as a last resort. Cardio is good. I'm not here trying to say that doing cardio is not beneficial to you, but I'm just trying to say, like, at least for me, if I could like not touch cardio unless like I really need it, like if I could have a flat stomach. If I could run like a 6 or 8 pack, whatever the case, whatever it is y'all want to call it, I like have like my core looking tight without having to do cardio, then I feel like I've managed to clean up a whole lot of other areas that would otherwise work against me if I was doing cardio. Because what's the point of me doing cardio if the food that I'm eating is also working against me? It's causing me, let's say I'm eating processed food, right? I showed y'all the picture of what one of my trainees results look like from simply cutting out processed food. Of course, I'm adapting a training regimen, cutting out processed food. The core area just got smaller, waist got smaller. Now imagine if I decide I'm gonna keep processed food, but then I'm doing like a whole bunch of cardio. Y'all see them people, those people like you see them doing a whole lot of cardio, but then for some reason they can't get their gut down. Not saying it could be something medical related, but a lot of people who are constantly just doing cardio and still carrying a gut is eating a lot of junk. They're drinking a lot. They're eating food late. They're eating a lot of greasy food, a lot of processed food, a lot of food high in sodium and stuff like that. So yeah, I told y'all about experimenting. I told y'all about me maintaining my weight routine, my weightlifting routine. I try to burn basically as much fat as possible without having to turn to cardio, and I keep track of my progress, of course, until I see no more improvement, and then I'll explain what I do next in the other video. Thanks for checking me out.
Niggas chase checks, my homie check specs, whole lot of tech. Shorty like the style, cause it ain't new. I speak with the vets, ain't no rest. 24/7, we brought the best. She sent the best inside her snap text. Zips made the Honda sound vex. We be outside and she won't leave another next. Rock the black tee or white, I love the flex. Hella herb when the niggas step.